and only Frank the Tank from Barstool.
I know who you are, Frank. Tell John and Mike who you are.
I'm Frank the Tank Fleming.
Frank Fleming, also known as the Tank, is no ordinary sports media figure. The same could be said about the diehard Mets fans' rise to fame.
Would you amputate both of your legs for a Mets World Series?
No way, please, Frank, tell me no.
You know, they make good prospects these days.
Wow. The Mets are the heart of New York. It beats in us.
There is no fucking heart! There is absolutely no fucking heart in this goddamn motherfucking thing!
Shmueli thinks he knows more about the Mets than you.
Look at his face. Look at his face right now.
Mets are ruining my life. They're making my life a living hell.
There is no mercy in this dojo! Woo!
These politicians walk around with their assholes so tight you can actually hear them squeaking when they walk in.
It's a great line, and I'm going to use that about anyone and everyone that I think has a pull up their ass.
You can't play like shit for 45 minutes and expect to win the game. Hey, Ref! You're in it!
All right, everybody, welcome to another episode of Mislabeled. If you're watching this, we very much would appreciate it if you could like, subscribe, and comment. We are pumping out episodes one after the next, and we have, honestly, coming up some really good guests, but we have one of them that I've been extremely excited for today here, the one and only Frank the Tank from Barstool. Frank, how you doing?
I'm doing fine. Just a busy day, busy every time, busy every day.
And you never stop putting out content, I feel like. It's just a constant barrage.
Yeah, that's what I do. I try to get as much content out as possible.
During the day, are you just like, is every single thing that you're doing being filmed, or do you have specific things like that you like? Do you have specific segments, so to speak? I know you have the walk and things of that nature.
It depends what's going on. I'm at the office. You never know. They could whip a camera out at any time.
Right. I feel like Barstool in general is like they're always just videoing everything.
Here and there.
But is that scary because, like, you know that every single thing that you do is on camera?
No.
You're not afraid of ever messing up?
No.
Interesting.
I love it.
You were born for the limelight, is what I'm hearing.
Possibly.
Did you? Okay, political answer.
Humble brag.
Do you in a million years think like 10 years ago, 20 years ago that like did you see this at all for yourself? Like, yeah, I'm gonna have 140 something thousand followers. People are gonna be following me around.
I tried out of college. It just didn't work. It just took 20 years.
That's, by the way, that's unbelievable hearing that. It took you 20 years to really pop?
Yeah.
Wow.
What did you do out of college? What did you go to college for?
I went to college for broadcasting, and I ended up working as a court clerk.
How the fuck did that happen?
What do they call that thing? The civil service exam.
But how did that
Blank stares from us.
What was first of all, I don't even know what that is. Just sorry.
The civil service exam is what you take if you can't find a job, and you end up working for the government.
Got it. But I feel like government jobs are not that bad. I feel like
They're benefits.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're benefits. Yeah, they're benefits, but the pay sucks.
It does?
Of course, that's why they give you the benefits.
That makes sense,
They compensate you
Pension.
with tons of medical insurance.
You know, I'm actually thinking about my last years at the courthouse. I was in the courthouse for 16 years. I was making less than $60,000 a year, and if you think about it, that's probably less than minimum wage now.
That's crazy. For 16 years? Or 16 years ago?
No. I did that for 16 years.
Wow. While you were doing that, you were also putting out content?
Last 3 years, yes.
Got it. How long have you been with Barstool now?
I was part-time from 2017 to 2020 and full-time now 3 years.
Got it. So you got it. So you started working at Barstool a little bit later than, clearly later than their inception. I mean, right?
Yes.
04, so took some, got it. How did you actually get that job?
It started with the New Jersey Transit rant. I mean, the rant maybe went viral. Dave offered me a part-time job. He looked at my the website I ran for 20 years called Sports Encyclopedia. You know, it's on hiatus now. Hopefully one day maybe I could try to like relaunch or get someone to run it for me. I thought I had a deal with somebody to run it, but that looks like it's not happening. They're not doing anything with it. I sold it, but they're not doing anything with it. I think what they saw was that the updating the website is such a tedious and chore, and just the people, when I got the big brain money, did a good job redesigning the site. It's just that they've made it so complicated to update the site that it just, I can't do it. I don't have the time for it. I don't have the energy for it. I'm doing other stuff now, and I just can't do it.
Yeah, sometimes, I mean, you got to keep it simple, stupid. So I totally understand that. Where do you grow up?
I grew up where I live. New Jersey. I've either lived in or around Newark my whole life.
But do you live there because you had the job around like the for the 16 years and then whatever? Have you ever thought about moving out?
Have you thought about movies? Yeah.
Not really, but it's just where I've always lived. I mean, Newark is a shithole, but it's my shithole.
I don't want to say that, but yeah.
I like that. It's my shithole.
I did. Have you been here around here longer than we have? Have you seen it become, you think, more or less of a shithole?
It had a brief time where it looked like it was turning the corner, but it's. Are we
talking about Rudy right now?
No, that's New York.
Right.
True.
Rudy Giuliani's
I'm talking about Newark, New Jersey, where every mayor for the last 60 years has been indicted except for Cory Booker.
That's like similar to Baltimore. Think of it in that.
No. Baltimore's a much nicer city than Newark.
That's saying a lot.
I mean, we went to the Devils were having an autograph event on Sunday, and I tried to go to the autograph event, and Newark decided to have a cancer march on the same day. They closed streets for like a mile out away from the Prudential Center for a march that probably had maybe 402 people.
Not the wisest thing. You're basically saying decision making there is just not their strong point.
Yeah, it is. It is just. It's a disaster. I mean, I take Ubers every day to see Caucus train station because Newark's to take the light rail from where I live to Penn Station is a 25-minute ride on a train that's going about 5 miles per hour.
So it should take you 12 minutes and it takes 25.
Yeah.
The city can literally not.
So but I don't understand. Why did you move to the city?
Because the crime rate and the rent's too damn high.
There's not a lot of crime in Newark.
Crime in Newark?
No, crime.
Crime in Newark?
There is a lot of crime in Newark, no?
Yeah.
The crime rate's going to be the same.
The crime rate's going to be the same, Frank.
No. I'm not talking. New York, the rent's too damn high.
There you go.
Newark's crime rate's higher than Newark. Newark's high rate's higher than New York. And the problem is the rent's too damn high in New York.
Frank, having higher rent than living being alive might be a
yeah. Well,
trade-off.
I live in Belleville. Belleville actually has something called a little bit of space. And it's not a lot of space, but it's a little bit of space. And I need that little bit of space.
Does your family also live in Newark?
They did. My father's side of the family was from Newark. I have an uncle that still lives in Newark, or near me, actually in Belleville. My parents retired to Idaho in 2009, and they're miserable. They hate it.
They retired to Idaho?
What, do they like potatoes?
I gotta say, usually when a Jew retires, we go to Florida.
My mother's side of the family is from Idaho, and they got a nice little plot of land out there, and it snows. They're expecting a snowstorm this weekend.
Sounds nice.
And they probably won't see the grass again until May.
So they went from Newark to Idaho.
And where they live in Idaho, it is literally the middle of. Actually, no, it's 14 miles from the middle of nowhere. It's like a barren wasteland. A winter. I mean, I think in 1978, fresh off the success of the release of the first Star Wars movie, George Lucas went to Eastern Idaho, saw it, and that's how he came up with Hoft.
It's unreal.
It's a nice place to spend like your golden years.
No, it's a miserable place.
You ever go?
I've been out there, yeah, and it feels like I'm in the House of the Shining whenever I go out there. My father hates it. My mother's now smoking 2.5 packs of cigarettes a day. because he's driving her nuts, and meanwhile he's having kidney problems, and they can't upkeep the house. They got they got 3 chihuahuas running around, and
Dog turd everywhere.
Dog turd everywhere.
This is the American dream. This is beautiful.
Middle America. Baby.
They no longer eat at the kitchen table. They now have TV tables set up in the living room because the kitchen table has become kind of like Mount Everest in terms of just mail and junk on it.
They're hoarders too.
Yeah, they're hoarders. Yeah, they're hoarders.
You need to ask everything about that. It's great.
And my father hates it out there. He said that he wanted to get away from New Jersey because there's too many people around him, and then he got out there and he realized, oh fuck, this sucks.
That's a miserable life to like. You start to think that like you've just made a little bit just to be able to move out, and you move out into worse.
I mean, it is a barren wasteland. It is, and I went out there for Christmas a couple times, and I remember one Christmas I was out there for 10 days. It snowed 8 times. With one snowstorm topping 4 feet. They have a fence, about a 4.5 foot, maybe 5 foot fence that's fenced in area for like the dogs to run around in. And this fenced in area, the snow was over the fence.
Jeez.
Like icicles everywhere. And the bad news is on the days it wasn't snowing, the high temperature was negative 10 degrees.
I didn't know this about Idaho, by the way.
I didn't know. I'm from Ohio. We're from Ohio, actually.
I was actually thinking about moving to
to
Idaho, but you've convinced me not to.
Like we're used to winters, but this sounds like
we're not talking Boise. Boise's a little more populous. We're talking
thriving metropolis of Boise.
Yeah, we're talking near Rexburg. They're in that area of Idaho where the alleged the no law zone, the dead zone, where that
what?
What's the no law zone? I don't even know.
There's a no law zone in Idaho?
There is a dispute over the border where Yellowstone Park begins, where Wyoming borders Idaho, and there's like a rumor that you could kill someone there and get away with it. That's where
nothing happens.
That's where that
like
blog.
a vacation spot.
That's where that blogger killed his girlfriend a couple.
Oh, that whole thing that went down a couple years ago.
Yeah.
Ooh.
But you're really selling Idaho, like.
They're not too far from Jackson Hole, Wyoming. That's another place that's pretty close. They can see the Grand Tetons from their property. They're
Grand Tetons?
Mountains, where Jackson Hole is.
Oh, gotcha.
And it's picturesque, but spending more than a couple days there, and you want to die.
I think you've convinced anyone in the world right now who listens to this to never ever go near Idaho.
And the Idaho sand dunes are not too far. But in the winter they're gone. They're covered up. I mean, if you want to go out there, maybe go out there in the spring and summer. You can make a day trip out to Wyoming and Yellowstone Park, but that is not a place to live.
I feel like that entire area, the only thing that's going on there is Yellowstone Park, like for 4 states. It's just like there's 4 states and they all claim just Yellowstone Park.
Well, they have the Sun Valley of Idaho. It's got some skiing, but where my parents live, it's actually too high to ski. They're already above the ski slopes.
Everything that possibly you could have, you can't have there. It's like there's so much snow. Maybe
Potatoes,
you
you
can
got a lot
ski.
of
No.
potatoes.
Yeah.
I mean, they actually have to. If they want to check their mail, they have to get into a car, drive about a mile away, and that's where the post office is. They have no mail delivery.
Brutal.
Frank, let me ask you, when were you doing? I know you're big on Cameo, right?
Yes.
When did you start that?
I think I started doing the loose Cameo Association in 2019, but it really took off like the last couple of years, especially in August with draft time.
Do you feel, I assume your life has drastically changed since you joined Barstool, like just different planet?
I'm doing busy things. I can't walk down the street without people saying, "Hey, Frank."
And what is that like? Do you like it? Do you get annoyed?
There's times it can get a little bit much, but it's usually fun.
what's like what's the time that like annoyed you? What is something that people should not do when they see you in the street?
You know, sometimes when I'm trying to look up something and starting to do something and trying to do something and or trying to send off a text and then they're coming in and asking to take a picture, that's when it gets annoying.
Right, they're clearly interrupting you.
Yes.
Because they see a guy on his phone all day making content. They don't think like, oh, that guy's not busy. It's like, no, that guy's busier than you are probably.
But like when all the fans come at you, like when you're at Met Stadium or at the Devils game, is that like, are you like, yeah, like I'm the face of the franchise right now? Like, what do you feel?
I just feel like I'm just like a noteworthy fan.
Love it.
Our studio's falling apart.
Our studio.
Honestly, by the way, no, I'll tell you why.
This has never happened before, by the way.
Frank, what did you do?
I'll tell you why. The guy that did the lighting was like, I convinced
You mean another?
He was good comedic timing. Like you finished your sentence and it was like, and I give up.
What happens to me, I was fighting with the guy who put it up. We had something else that was
What
working
fell?
fine. No,
Yeah,
nothing
our lights are
fell. It's
falling.
just the
battery?
it's a double-sided tape to hold it on.
Yeah.
And I had something with the Velcro that was stronger. And he's like, no, this is better. So it clearly is not
Alien
better.
tape. Use alien tape. That will stick every time.
Alien tape. Is that like
If
Gorilla
they're
tape?
not paying you money, don't mention it, okay? If they're not, if you're not
Well,
cashing a check.
I don't need to be mentioned, but if you look in my apartment, I have a lot of stuff hanging on my walls, and I use.
You got to
alien
work on
tape.
those brand deals then. Do we have any brand deals coming down the tube?
Well, I'm partnered up with Hater Fantasy Sports. This is something that's new that's launching.
It's called Hater.
Yes.
That's great.
Hader, I'm assuming.
No, Hater.
Oh, it is Hater.
Yeah.
Okay.
And basically, it's a reverse fantasy league.
What does
Reverse
that
fan,
mean?
like you try to suck so hard.
Yes.
That's amazing.
So you pick, but you have,
Give
but you have to have a certain salary cap requirement. You have to make a certain salary, and this is Hater Sports is an app.
It's actually genius.
And basically, if players you think are going to suck this week, or players you want to suck, you pick them and you root against them.
That's amazing.
Very interesting.
That's genius.
Cathartic sounding. You get to really get the anger out.
Yes.
The hatred.
And it's called Hater Fantasy Sports.
Because you hate them.
That's actually very interesting.
Why didn't we come up with this?
I don't know what the fuck is wrong with us.
What do you? What, if you could have a brand like sponsor you? Like who do you want to be this?
Dream
if
brand.
you're getting
Dream
a Super Bowl,
spokesperson.
you're getting a Super Bowl ad. Who are you shilling for?
Either a hot dog company or probably a soda company.
Okay,
Yeah, Nathan's. You know, Nathan's is quality hot dogs. You know,
give us the pitch, give us the pitch,
Yeah, the Nathan's are very good. Sabrett's are good. Very
We
good hot
were
dogs.
supposed to have Joey Chestnut on, and we didn't have time. We also didn't realize it was July 2nd, 2 days before the Nathan's hot dog eating contest.
Yeah,
and
we
just
fumbled that back.
Totally fumbled it. He's like, yeah, I could come on July 4th at like 10 a.m. And we're like, nah, it's too early. And like he would have been like here for the pod and then like gone to Nathan's to like wolf down.
Frank,
It was actually supposed to be July 4th.
Do you
or
watch
something,
the
or
hot
July
dog
2nd.
championship? Don't take this the wrong way. You give off the vibe of a guy who like religiously watches it and like bets on it.
I casually watch it.
How many hot dogs do you think you can knock back?
Well, I can't eat fast, so I just can't do it.
It was
And-
an untimed competition.
And right now, I'm trying to actually lose a little weight, so probably I'll stop at 4 or 5.
What do you
Even
think?
though
That's because of that's why you're starting the walk thing, right? The past
Yep.
like 14, 15 days. Like we're on walk
21
16.
days.
21
now.
days.
Actually, no, 22. Today was going to be walk number 23.
You're gonna do a walk around the 5 towns?
I'm going to go do a. What do we got? Meet up with Stu. We're going to do a walk.
He's meeting up with Stu Finer afterwards. So
I love Stu.
I don't think do I know who that is?
You have no idea who he is.
No.
He's another Barstool guy. He's
The only thing I know
he's a
more than
casual.
Barstool is about Dan Marino. Those are the two things that I know about.
Dan Marino has nothing to do with Barstool. I'm the only one that's ever met with Dan Marino at Barstool. He's never done any show on Barstool.
Would it be a dream for you to meet Dan Marino?
I
have you
haven't.
met Dan
He
Marino?
just said he'd met Dan Marino.
I met Dan Marino in July.
I didn't know that. When did he say that? Before? It must have been before
No,
the pod.
literally just now. He said it before.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
what was it? What was that like? Like, do you spend time with him or just like a
I
quick
did
meet
a
and greet?
I did a card opening with him at the National Card Show in Chicago.
Okay, that's
How big's his
That's
penis?
got to be
What?
like a dream come true.
Yes, it was interesting. It was fun. I did a card opening last week with Ric Flair.
I saw that.
I did, yeah,
I saw that.
I did
Are
see
you,
that.
are you a big wrestling fan?
Not anymore.
But you were.
Yeah, I kind of liked wrestling. I stopped watching wrestling maybe about 16, 17 years ago. Maybe it's been a while. When it started getting boring and repetitive, and now it just I don't.
Isn't Logan Paul like getting involved in wrestling?
Yeah.
Yeah, I just can't get into it anymore. Once the Attitude Era went away, that was kind of like the end.
I'll be honest, I never understood wrestling because everyone knows it's scripted. So like when you know something's scripted, like I never understood like fans of different wrestlers. Like you're a fan of their personalities? Like what are you a fan of?
You're a fan of their personality and the storyline. They used to try to hide it. It was fake. I remember infamously about 35 years ago, they had the Iron Sheik from Iran who would come in the ring, USA, and he'd have a flag with the Ayatollah Khomeini on it, and it'd be like Iran number one, USA, poo, and they would sing. And then there was he had a feud against Hacksaw Jim Duggan, who came in with an American flag, and they're supposed to be and the fight, and the feud is starting. Well, one night they're on the Jersey Turnpike, not too far from Newark Airport. The two of them are pulled over in a limousine, and they're both doing cocaine in the back of the limo.
Hell yeah.
Together.
Hell yeah.
That's a real feud right there.
No, I feel like part of it is the athleticism involved.
Wait, I think that's how we cure the geopolitical divides in the world.
Just
doing cocaine in the back of a limousine.
I mean, it's scripted, but it's not fake. The moves are real, and
right.
and a good
Guys, the light is still on. We're moving.
Fucking studio's falling apart.
And
Frank, you've cursed us.
All right, everybody, want to take a quick second to give a big shout out to our sponsor for this episode, CubX. CubX is an IT company that personally does my own IT. I've also recommended these guys to at least 7 close friends of mine that have very successful companies. They have all come back to me and said things that these guys are second to none. This is not a company that when you call them, you have to wait on hold for 25 minutes. This is not a company when you get through to someone that doesn't know exactly what they're doing. These guys are top notch. You call them, you get through in 60 seconds. You can get right back to work. For me, that's the number one thing. When I have a technology issue, I don't want to be waiting on hold. I want the problem fixed immediately. These guys are incredible. Specifically, they operate and focus on people with small businesses, 5 employees or more. They also have companies that are on staff for 500 plus employees. They're very, very big in the healthcare industry. If you want to reach out to them, you can hit them at 732-444-8771. Press 2 to speak to someone in the sales department. You can also email them at hello@cubx.com. That's hello@cubx.com. Or you could check them up on cubx.com. That's cubx.com. Again, my personal endorsement, wouldn't give it. I'm an impatient motherfucker, as everyone here knows. If these guys weren't the best, I wouldn't be recommending them. Give them a call if you are not happy with your current IT company or started a company and need a great IT company. These guys are the people. All right, back to our episode now.
You know, technology is at war with me.
How so?
Everything I buy that's technology related breaks in the weirdest fucking ways.
Explain.
One time I was driving, I had an old TomTom GPS, which are all these GPS companies that came out 20 years ago.
It was Garmin.
Garmin and
Garmin.
The GPS is before you actually could get everything on your phone.
Yeah, those things with the iPhone and the Android came along and said that. GPS. Oh, subscription to get updated maps. Yeah, you're done. You're now irrelevant. So,
That was like Netflix and Blockbuster.
Yeah.
oh well, Blockbuster was offered a chance to buy Netflix. They said that.
Yeah.
This is not gonna last.
Hilarious. Wait, what happened to the GPS?
So anyway, I'm driving, and it says make a left turn now. So I make the left turn. I barely missed getting in a head-on accident because it had me turn onto a one-way street. I took the TomTom and I tossed it out the window.
That was me. I do remember these GPSs doing some crazy stuff. Like I was one time on a vacation with my family, actually to New York from Cleveland, and it took us like down one of these like like when you get off in Manhattan and like it's just a bunch of trucks and like a bunch like a fence, and it's not landfills but like whatever. It's like where trucks like stop and
Make a right now.
I feel like also.
I hope you know how to swim.
I feel like Waze is obviously good, but like you could like want to go to like a restaurant and you will end up in the kitchen, like in the actual kitchen of the restaurant. Like and you're like, how the fuck did I get here?
Right.
But you are in the restaurant. You just like are making the food.
Right. It's like a genie who like will grant your wishes, but he does it in a way that like hurts you.
Yeah, it's just very interesting.
I've never had a GPS do that to me, but I wanted the experience, so I would used to drive after smoking weed, and I would go down one-way streets all the time.
We had
Happened like 3 or 4 times.
I firmly believe.
It's a hobby of mine.
I firmly believe that Skynet is real, and
Conspiracy.
Alexa is Skynet, and one day.
I don't think they know. Skynet's the evil corporation from Spider-Man, right? No. Chris Connor. What's Terminator?
Yes, the Terminator movies.
There we go.
Speaking of which, if I had the ability to go back in time, I'd go back in time and probably shoot James Cameron before making Terminator Dark Fate, because that might be one of the worst movies ever made.
Wow, okay, not gonna kill Hitler. Okay, no, we see where your priorities are. We see where your fucking priorities are. That's pretty low, man, pretty low.
You have the ability to not start World War II.
Well, that'll be the first stop.
I feel like you could solve World War III, Frank, if you get involved right now. And what's going on? I feel like if you do the press conference, it's just going to be like, everyone's going to be like, all right.
I want to move you into politics.
You get between Abbas and Netanyahu, I think we have a chance.
I feel like they're not going to be able to like punch each other in the face.
I mean, I always had, one day, and of course I'd also go back in time and get Davey Johnson to get Randy Myers into the game in Game 4 of 1988 NLCS.
That's a not blank face.
That's a me. I'm the sports
You direct
guy.
that at him?
I'm the sports guy.
Frank, he knows more sports than you, just FYI.
I've been told about 2 different people, and
Zach was bullshitting. He actually might.
Oh yeah, I was lying, like a liar does.
He knows everything, Frank. Who are your main teams again? Jets?
No. Dolphins.
Dolphins.
I meant Dolphins.
Dolphins, Mets, Devils.
I know. I forgot it was Marino.
This is the first year I'll be rooting for the Knicks.
There you go.
Why are you rooting for the Knicks this year?
Because I got tired of rooting for the Nets, who left New Jersey and are a absolute dumpster fire, directionless, boring franchise playing in a hole of an arena in a hole of Brooklyn.
I'm sorry.
With no fans. I mean, if the Nets ever won the NBA championship, which is never going to happen, if the Nets ever won the NBA championship, there'll be about 6 people bicycling across the Brooklyn Bridge to celebrate. If the Knicks ever won an NBA championship, the city might actually flip over and burn down.
But the Knicks are also a dumpster fire of a franchise.
They're turning things around.
Nah, as long as James Dolan is
as long as Leon Rose is there, they're messed.
I think James Dolan's starting to get a little bit better. He's trying to he's backing away a little bit, finally letting the basketball people run things.
Frank, what do you have against Barclays?
It's dingy. It's
nice.
It feels like I'm going into a cave.
It is dark.
There's just,
when you go out down Atlantic Avenue and you pass it, you're like, what the fuck is that? Like it is.
Correct.
It's the way it looks, especially from the outside. You do feel kind of.
I think it's cool.
I mean,
I've only been to concerts.
I mean, you ever see? You ever hear about the hockey experience at the Barclays Center? It was so bad that the Islanders moved here and went, "Oh fuck, we need to go back to our old arena. And if you don't build us a new arena, we're going to be going to Kansas City." And I'll be making my first trip to UBS tonight. Well, first NHL trip. I was actually there for the Heroes game.
Interesting. And are you like, wait, who's the Islanders playing doubles tonight?
The Islanders are playing the Devils tonight.
I feel like hockey is the one thing that I have had no interest at any point in my life in getting involved.
I'm not a big hockey fan. I'm huge baseball, huge basketball,
Well,
huge.
Unless it's
New
overtime.
Yorkers.
Overtime hockey is fun. Frank, you don't seem very happy about this.
People just you got to watch hockey and try to watch it for 10 days. You'll get hooked.
That's what you think it is.
Like I'm a big believer in the it's just the goals look so lucky to me sometimes. Like I love one timers. I think are like Crosby and Ovechkin on one timers. Like that to
Jack
me.
Hughes.
Jack Hughes. When they're coming down on
Bobby
fast,
Orr?
when they're coming down on fast breaks and different things, I'm with it. Like,
But that's where you have a goalie.
That's
you have
real smooth.
You have a goalie. You have and you got to be able to make the rebound shots. You got to get the lucky bounces. Is hockey.
That's what I'm saying. The lucky bounces. That's the rebound shots. Like it's basically 5 guys lining up in front of the goal, and then one guy shooting and hoping to get the rebound off the right stick or off. It just. To me,
That's
there's
how
so
hockey
much luck
works.
involved in
It
that.
moves around though. It's not like it's not stagnant. It's not like soccer where you're just.
No, I
like
can't. I
soccer
can't
also.
watch soccer. I can't watch soccer.
Watch for 3 hours. There's like
The
three
ball
goals.
stays between the same 50 feet for 85 feet of it.
Isn't soccer okay?
Well, that's
Isn't it one of the
yeah.
small moments
watching
with
watching
the
English
feet?
Premier League. The
85.
English Premier League is actually a little bit better. It's actually a little bit more movement. It's not like MLS where it's almost like
MLS is a disaster.
And they keep adding teams. Like I think that they just announced that San Diego's getting a team in MLS. I think in a few years there's gonna be 50 teams in the MLS and the New York Red Bulls will still be the worst team in the league.
Frank, if you had one thing you could change right now about, let's call it the Mets, what would it be?
That they'd be successful.
One change. You get to make one change in the organization.
Well, they thought to change the ownership.
Steve Cohen.
And everyone was so excited for Steve Cohen, and now everyone hates Steve Cohen.
Really?
Well, he hasn't done shit. He hasn't changed a goddamn thing. It's still the same motherfucking dumpster fire.
I'm sorry, that's anti-Semitic.
He's joking with you. We don't think about Steve Cohen. Isn't he spending way more money on the team?
Yeah, but money. He spent money on Max Scherzer, who was a total disaster. He spent money on
Verlander.
Verlander, total disaster. He spends money on Daniel Vogelfat, who is without a doubt the worst athlete to ever be
100%.
paid. Daniel Vogelfat.
I think Carl Pavano was worse on the Yankees.
Who?
Carl Pavano?
Oh,
Yankees pitcher?
No.
Got $40 million for 4 years. He played maybe 6 games. I was like a diehard Yankee fan at the time. He literally, I think...
But,
I remember, from the Marlins.
Daniel Vogelfat is the worst athlete.
Since Matt Stairs.
No. Matt Stairs is Jim Thorpe compared to Daniel Vogelfat.
That's great.
I
if
think
you
neither
watch-
of them
you
hold
know,
a candle.
Do you remember
to-
Matt Stairs? He was on the Athletics for years. If you just go watch highlights of him. Go watch highlights.
Matt Stairs actually...
He's a great hitter.
Matt Stairs actually ended up playing a few years as a pinch hitter for the Phillies and got some big hits
Yeah, he did.
in the 2008 playoffs.
He did.
What about Daryl Strawberry?
He was a good athlete, got good power.
He knows like one Mets player. And
I mean...
Was he on the Mets?
yes.
if,
I didn't even know. I swear I didn't even know.
Yankees.
and if it wasn't for
I guess
his substance abuse problems, and if he stayed in shape and stayed
a
healthy,
little cocaine. A little cocaine.
if he stayed healthy, and he could have been a Hall of Famer.
What is Daniel Vogelfat? His name is not Vogelfat, right? Or whatever.
It's Vogelback.
Vogelback. You call him Vogelfat. I figured that out.
Literally.
What is he as compared to Kwame Brown in basketball? Like, what's the...
Well, he had 1 year where he hit 30 home runs, and now the Mets just decided, hey, maybe that'll happen again. Nope.
You agree with these 13-year contracts? I feel like they're always a fucking disaster.
Uh,
Always. They're good for 3 years.
It's risky, but I think you might have to do it.
To get the player?
Yep.
But I feel like then you're locked into a contract for 13
Well-
years, paying them $40 million a year or something, whatever.
Then they get that buyout. That's what it's actually for. They want these buyouts.
I mean, I don't know. I just always, every time I see it, I'm like, yeah, this guy's going to be good for the first. And once they get the payday, a lot of them don't care to then go and.
Well, I've seen that before. The Mets are good at finding those players. I mean, Bobby Bonilla is a classic example.
They're still paying him, right?
Oh, yeah, they're going to be paying Bobby Bonilla for another 20 years.
It's absolutely insane.
Bobby Bonilla. He signed a contract with the Mets, 2-year, multi-year contract. What was it, like 5-year contract initially? And he said that there's no way anyone's going to ever wipe this smile off my face. And the media went, challenge accepted.
The Mets went challenge accepted.
That's great. So
They've wiped this. They have wiped the smirk off of everyone's face in New York that's ever been a Met fan ever.
Yeah, being a Mets fan is pure, absolute, total misery.
I mean, you could be a Cleveland Browns fan. There are worse things to be.
The Cleveland Browns, yeah, well, I look at the Cleveland Browns as this. 30 years ago, their owner, Art Modell. By the way, Art Modell actually is related to the family that founded Modell Sporting Goods, if you didn't know that.
Yes, they did.
And Art Modell got pissed off that the Cleveland Indians got a new baseball stadium, that the Cleveland Cadavers got a new arena.
Jacobs Field.
Cleveland Cadavers?
Yeah, the Cleveland Cadavers.
Yeah,
What is that?
you had Jacobs Field.
What's the Cleveland Cadavers?
It's their NBA team.
Cavaliers.
No,
I didn't know.
No, they're the Cleveland Cadavers.
Cadavers. Where's that from?
Oh, because they're like dead?
Yes.
The wordplay, baby.
I mean,
they actually. Wait a second.
And last
They're
year-
actually not bad now.
Yeah, Donovan Mitchell is like a prisoner, counting down the days until he's out of there.
You got Jared Allen. You got Darius Garland, Evan Mobley.
And they're still going to be going nowhere.
We can have a bet. Should we have a bet, Frank, right now? Who has more wins, the Knicks or the Cavs? That's
Who won the playoff series last year?
great. That's true. But this year, we're talking about this year,
And the Knicks are better than they were last year.
and hopefully the Cavs. Well, it was the first year with Mitchell.
Yeah, no, Mitchell was there last year.
I'm saying it was the first year with Mitchell. That's why you have to build chemistry. Build chemistry.
I think the Knicks have a bigger upside than the Cavs, and Mitchell just can't wait to join the Knicks.
I feel like being a Knicks fan. I've
By the way,
Miserable.
speaking of the Mets, Director of Community Affairs and Minority Community Affairs for the New York Mets, Donovan Mitchell Sr.
Really?
Yes.
I didn't know that.
Yep. His father's worked in the Mets organization for like 20 years.
So you're saying it's a matter of time, you think, till he moves his way to New York?
Yes.
Why can't the Knicks land a real deal superstar, like a top 5, a Damian Lillard, anyone that's legitimate that could bring back some energy to the New York?
Right now the Knicks are actually playing it smart. They would have to trade for Damian Lillard.
No, he's saying in terms of whenever free agents come
Yeah.
by. Why is the biggest free agent signings that they've had so far Jalen Brunson in the past?
Because
Except Amari Stoudemire in 2011.
Because they
And Carmelo.
because
Carmelo was a trade.
and which was a very bad trade.
It was a bad trade at the time.
Do you realize among those
They
traded
needed to get a superstar in the building in order to create.
But Amari was playing amazing before Carmelo came.
and they could have waited until he's a free agent.
They could have waited until the end of the year.
but they wanted to lock him
They
in.
wanted to lock him in and try and make sure. And they also, if they got him in the trade, they
And
got the extra
if
year.
I'm not mistaken, one of the they traded numerous draft picks for him.
Of course they traded.
First and second round picks. One of the second round picks ended up being Nikola Jokic.
You can't know that. It's very difficult. Second round picks in the NBA are crap.
Yeah, I mean Nikola Jokic might be one of the best second round picks in the last ever.
Right.
Yeah.
So you can't know that. That's his point.
it's like trying to get Manu Ginobili. Very difficult. Like second round
But
pick.
so you can't blame him for that. But the Knicks are now, I think actually now staying the course and going to play the smart role. They've built a team around Villanova.
They need a superstar to win. They need a superstar to win in the NBA.
And it's going to happen.
Like a Tim Couch.
It's going to happen. And it's going to happen in the next few years. I wouldn't be surprised if when free agency comes, they land Giannis.
I
Pappas?
don't think they're going to land Giannis.
They're going to land a star within 2 to 3 years. The problem is
Why couldn't they get Lillard this year? For example, I don't know.
No, that's a trade.
That's
That's
a
a
trade.
trade. That's a
Right,
They
trade.
don't want to
Stop.
trade. They keep trading players.
label
Because he said it like 3 times already. I'm like,
Right, you're talking about-
Look what the Nets have done. Look what the Nets have done.
For the community.
The Nets had a good run early 2000s.
Well, they messed up because they signed the team crusher, Kyrie Irving. You signed the team. He's a team crusher.
No,
Dallas will be feeling the effects for years.
They didn't only sign the team crusher. They signed the other one.
KD.
No, they traded for the other one actually. Traded
Ben?
No, they got Ben when they finally traded him. I'm talking about James Harden.
Oh yeah, the other team.
I mean, he nukes every team, and he's about to nuke the Philadelphia 76ers.
Oh, 100%.
Kyrie is way worse than
He's
that,
about to
man.
come into camp, or he hasn't really been around camp. He's about to come into the season. He won probably multiple hot dog eating contests over the course of the summer.
And if he doesn't feel like playing, he's gonna gain 35 pounds. He's gonna go out there and he's gonna. The ball's going to go to his hand. He's going to fold these little passes. The 76ers have been hardened. And
Hardened.
Jen Jackson came up with that one.
That's great. They've been hardened.
That's great.
And you know, it's they're pathetic. And Joel Embiid's already talking about that he wants to go to the Knicks. So there's another guy that could be coming to the Knicks soon.
I feel like the Knicks fans always get their hopes up when the team starts being a little bit good, and they're going to get that superstar.
They just can't trade for it. They can't. The Nets, a mistake they've always made. And the Nets, when they moved to Brooklyn from New Jersey, which was the dumbest thing they've ever done, was moving from New Jersey. The second dumbest thing they ever done was saying that all right, the first year here in Brooklyn, we didn't get as much fan support as we expected. So let's trade 4 draft picks and get the Golden Boys, Kevin Garnett and Paul Pierce. When they came down the court, you heard, "Thank you for being a friend." Travel down the road and back again. I'm a foul and a confidant.
The Golden Girls. The Golden Garnett.
I mean, Kevin Garnett and Paul Pierce on the Nets. I mean, they could have been playing for the shuffleboard in Miami somewhere. I mean, they got the Heat went out and got LeBron James. The Nets went out and traded 4 draft picks for the retirement home. and it took nearly 10 years to erase that mistake.
100%.
And they fired the GM. Who was it? Billy King? Was it their GM?
Billy King was their GM.
Yeah, Billy King. They fired him. They started getting together. They got a little fun little team, a little fun little energy. They got
Sean Marks.
Yeah, he did, and then all of a sudden, they went for the brass ring. They brought in Kyrie and Kevin Durant, and they were good. They made a good run, and then all of a sudden, they got rid of all the role players for dangerous hours. James Harden, listen, the big 3 who played all 15 games
16
together.
games. They were 13-3 in those 16 games. But 16 games they played a total together.
Absurd.
And
fake.
meanwhile, Kyrie Irving only plays when he wants to. I mean,
Correct.
Kyrie Irving, I think whenever you're signing a player that thinks the earth is flat, you're a fucking moron. Straight up. No, I'm being serious. The guy's a head case. Like,
I'm waiting for Dallas to implode this year.
Yeah, but how's
just feel bad for Luka.
Mark Cuban that stupid to sign into this deal? I don't understand when owners that are smart.
I mean, that's why I think he signed. It happens to be
it's a business decision because big names bring people to the stadium.
But also, no,
He
the
wants to
second
win.
thing, the reason why I think they only gave him a 3-year deal, because it's not going to kill them for 5 years on the cap.
It's 3 years.
Yeah, it's very different.
still a
Than
long
3
time.
years and
But
5
it-
years is very different because
but
Luka's
it's-
contract's going to come up in 3 years.
Also, Kyrie's
and so they'll
handles and
be able
fundamentals.
to still pay him.
And what's going to happen is when he would. I'm just waiting for him just to say something again. He's going to say something. He's going to piss people off.
Yeah,
I love
Also,
that
the
Dave
second
and
that
him have a huge feud, right?
also
Dave and
the
Kyrie?
second that he came to Dallas, they just started losing games.
Yeah, they did not play well. with
Right,
him.
like they were like 2 games above 500. They were like in the 7th or 8th seed.
No.
Or
They
6th seed?
were in the 5th seed.
Fifth
and
seed?
They didn't even make the.
And they didn't make the play-in.
They didn't even make the play-in. They just
Correct.
collapsed.
They collapsed the second that Kyrie
what?
got there.
This podcast was getting a little lightly anti-Semitic in the beginning, but now we're ripping on Kyrie. Everything's good.
I mean, I'm
We've
just
restored balance.
I'm just waiting for Kyrie to make a comment. And you know what I'm talking about.
Oh yeah. I'm sure it'll be very like well thought out and really level headed.
The great part about him though is he's so delusional that he thinks he's so smart.
Correct.
It's the most. It's like a real interesting. So
basketball?
Frank, I've actually put together.
You know what's sad is he's actually from New Jersey. That's the sad
He's
thing
from
about
Marlboro.
Oh, I didn't realize he had a rough upbringing.
Yeah,
He's from Marlboro, I think.
West Orange.
West Orange. I'm sorry. He went to the same JCC as a lot of my friends. He used to play ball with them.
You know who else
Back in the
did?
day.
A lot of our
J.R.
friends
Smith.
used to lose to him.
Yeah.
J.R. Smith also.
Well, he's from
J.R.
Newark.
Smith actually went to Yeshiva University. Little known fact.
J.R.
Oh yeah.
You're full of shit. He
No
went to.
schmoes, of course.
And I also know where. I actually do know where you went to.
Well, he didn't go to
He
school.
went to St. John's.
He didn't go to school.
J.R. Smith was out of high school.
Actually, J.R. Smith is in college now.
Correct.
Oh, that's right.
At
He's
UNC.
a documentary about it on Amazon Prime.
He grew up in Lakewood, by the way.
I know.
Like, literally.
And he went to
Went to Lakewood High School.
He went to St. Benedict's Academy in Newark, which is actually across the street from the courthouse I used to work at.
Anyways, Frank, Shmueli thinks he knows more about the Mets than you. So I
Look
basically
at his
told him,
face. Look
Yeah,
at
he
his,
literally
look
saw
at
that
his
mooch
face
in.
right now.
Frank,
Look
I'm
at his
just
face.
saying one thing. I told Shmueli I don't fucking think that's correct. So I did personally put together 5 questions. Shmueli, I know that.
You guys buzzers?
Shmueli, I know you're not okay, I put together, if the way I did it was it goes from easy to hard questions. So, Frank, we're going to start. How am I doing this? Am I asking?
You're asking
You
me a
ask the
question.
question, and then whoever buzzes first.
No, I don't like that way of doing
Yeah,
it.
of course.
Whoever answers first.
Yeah,
Okay, fine.
buzz
you have to
first.
ask the question, then buzz
No
in.
problem. No problem. Okay, who had the most home runs on the Mets last year?
Pete Alonso.
Well, it was Pete Alonso, and that question was ridiculously easy.
He said he's gonna get it.
How many home runs did he have last year?
He ended up with 46. Pete Alonso has the
Last year he did not have 46.
46.
He had 40.
46.
40.
That was in 2022. 2023.
No, I'm not talking about this year. We're talking about the year prior.
I don't. Well, last
Oh,
year.
you thought we were talking about this past year?
Yeah, he had.
Oh, it's
he
still
had-
the same, but yeah.
He had 40 last year. He had 46 this year. He had 53 rookie record 2019.
and in 2020
it's
he had
3 at the top.
18.
It's 3. Well, that was a fake year.
Yeah, obviously. I'm saying.
But that's
showing
3 of
my
the top
knowledge.
4 home run totals in Met history.
Okay, next. Top 3 career home runs for Mets players.
You have fake news. Okay, you fake news.
All right, the top 3 in home runs for the Mets is Darryl Strawberry.
Shmueli, you'll go afterwards if you think he's wrong.
I
Mike
think you should have
Piazza,
15 seconds to answer this.
Mike Piazza, and David Wright.
He's right. It's those 3. And it goes
does it
Darryl
go?
Strawberry, David Wright, Mike Piazza.
Yeah.
How many home runs did Darryl Strawberry have?
With the Mets, he had like 267.
I think he had 252.
Well,
Google
it's in that neighborhood. It's under
No,
3.
let's see who's right. Wait, what am I going? How many
How many home runs did Darryl Strawberry have?
You think 252?
I haven't looked it up, so
career?
Oh, I haven't looked it up. He thinks I'm looking it up.
yeah. I just know the feeling he had. He actually had his 300 career home run with the Yankees.
You're both wrong.
No, he had 385, 335
Total.
total.
35 total.
335 total, but
He's
we're
saying
talking
on the
about
Mets.
Mets.
Specifically.
Just the Mets.
Okay,
So I'm
next.
gonna look.
How many career home runs did David Wright have?
That's what she says.
242.
I'm gonna guess 246 because I think 242 is pretty close.
I'm googling it right now.
We needed answers on this. Actually, I mean, I
We
know
need
the
these on
answer.
the spot, Zach.
Jesus.
I'll be honest.
relax.
I know the answer to this question. Shmueli's right. 242.
Yeah, Shmueli's right.
Frank,
King of the Mets.
come on, Frank.
You're asking specific numbers, and the only way you know specific numbers is if you looked it up prior to it and you knew the questions were coming.
No.
What are you accusing us of
That
over
is
here, Frank?
heinous. That
This is-
anti-Semitic.
What are you accusing us of over here?
This is quiz show.
Next. Jose Reyes career stolen bases. Let Frank go.
Jose, why are we doing specific numbers and not actual stats?
Please, you never.
We're doing just specific numbers, and if he knows it on the head, then we know he's cheating.
What you're doing now is it's kind of wrong. It's kind of wrong. You're really accusing.
314.
No, Frank. You're way off.
No, he's got to be in the 500s.
No.
Yeah, if I were to hazard a guess,
I'm
I'd
gonna
say
go-
517.
Check it up.
Oh, it is. It's 517.
I said in the 500s. I said in the 500s.
That's unbelievable, by the way.
Well, stone bases were down in the last during his era, so
What are your thoughts on Barry Bonds?
he should be in the Hall of Fame. He's one of the best of all time.
I agree.
so.
All right,
He was
last
he was one of the best
You
of all
don't care
time.
that he was juiced?
I don't care. But I don't
before he was juiced.
specific actual numbers. The whole league was juiced. So
Correct. And even before he was juiced on the Pirates, he was unbelievable.
yes.
So, Frank, what do you excel at? And then I'll ask you different questions.
Stats, team history.
Who won the NLCS MVP in 1984?
1984 NLCS MVP was Steve Garvey.
I have no idea if that's true. I just ripped that out.
Do you know every NLCS MVP?
I might not know some of the more recent ones, but I do know a lot of them. Yes.
I kind of want your brand of
1984.
autism. Like, I feel like I've been really successful. I wish I could remember this much stuff.
It's actually, he, by the way,
It is without a doubt.
It is Steve Garvey.
wow.
Dude, we got to use your brain for something
Steve
No,
else.
it has to
Garvey.
be, there are with stats and numbers. I'm very, very good.
Stats numbers. I don't know exactly stat numbers.
Interesting.
I'll know. I might know like a record number, which is I know 53 is the rookie record that Pete Alonso set, but I don't know the exact numbers of how many careers someone had unless it's like a rookie number that sticks out your head. So I don't know the specific number. I might know a general area where it might be, but I
Right.
don't know the specific number.
Yeah, you are. He happens to also. You are a numbers guy in general.
Yeah, I know.
You this
I'll
stuff.
know specific numbers.
Yeah, I don't
He
know.
can tell you every single also Cleveland Cavaliers thing.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know
It's a
specific
battle of the
numbers.
savants.
I don't know specific numbers. I'll know player names. I'll know player history. I'll know that, but I don't know exact stat numbers
How many wins did Yohan Santana have on the Mets?
in his career.
Yeah.
Let me see. He never had 20 wins, so 2008.
He had 16.
little math.
He had 16 one year. He had 13 one year.
I'm gonna guess 61.
I'm gonna go lower because he was only on the Mets for 4 years. I'm gonna go 45.
Frank, you seem to know a lot. I have a question.
How many wins?
I have a question. Where's the clitoris?
It's south to the border. That Mexico way. where the tuna fish play.
Oh my God.
Wow, where's that from?
The Sopranos.
Oh, that's
Frank, favorite TV show
idiot.
of all time?
It's one among them.
What is
your favorite TV show?
It actually might be Seinfeld.
Really?
Let's go. Let's go. Favorite character?
Kramer.
Kramer. Yes. Yes.
Kramer.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. That's it.
We should do Seinfeld trivia. That.
Well, also, Frank, you're also really mad into comics and shit, right?
I'm casual. I kind of like. I watched
You go to
the.
Comic-Con every year.
No, it's the first time I've ever been to Comic-Con.
That was your first. Listen, I threw it out. I threw out a lob.
We do lots of research here.
I have one other question for you. One other
Frank,
question.
I have
regarding
a
the
good
Mets.
account that you've been there 12 times.
How many times have the Mets been to the playoffs since '86?
The playoffs since '86.
I feel like this one he's gonna get right.
Let me see. I'm done. Give me a second to think about it. I just got to count it in my head. 7 times.
Correct.
Correct.
That's good. Yeah, but I feel like I knew he would get that one right.
Yeah,
He's
that
gonna go
was
from
like-
86 all the way
right.
up till now.
It was 88, 89, 99,
No.
89, 90.
88, 99, 2000, 2006, 2015, 2016, 2022.
What was the name of the
only
player?
named 6. 88, 99, 2000,
2006.
2015, 2016, 20. Yeah, you're right.
What was the name of the player that robbed? I believe it was Carlos Beltran, Game 7, 2006. NLCS.
Robbed.
Of a home run, yeah.
No, that was Andy Chavez, and he robbed Scott
He
Rowland.
didn't rob.
Scott
Yeah,
Rowland.
he didn't.
Okay, I
he
wasn't sure if
didn't
it's
rob.
Yes, he did. He robbed him.
No, he did. He didn't rob Carlos Beltran.
said
Carlos
that one
Beltran made
person.
the last at bat,
Right,
and
right, struck
famously
out without swinging.
Correct on a
And
3-2 count.
who was
Space.
sitting behind home plate?
Who was sitting behind home plate at that
Catcher?
time?
Oh, in the stands.
Oh,
Oh, I don't know.
Bibi Netanyahu.
Trump?
Yeah.
Trump.
Trump was there.
Yeah, look at the picture.
Netanyahu. What?
Look at
I'm
the
saying behind. We have a BB there. I got it. I'm joking.
look at the picture. Look at the picture of the last out. Donald Trump's like standing like 4 rows
I
back.
could totally imagine Trump the next day.
Wainwright threw that pitch, right?
Yeah.
I could totally imagine Trump the next day. Like, he didn't swing. He didn't, how did it? You know, like going probably crazy.
He was feeble. It was terrible. I would have swung and I would have hit a 500-foot home run. I would have won the game.
I have a very above average penis size, and I would have hit a home run.
Yeah, totally.
Frank, we got some would you rather questions for you. Can you hit you some of those?
Not sure. I've never really liked doing those, but
We'll give it a shot.
We have a couple would you rathers and what would you do?
all right.
Well, it's funny because I did not know that your parents lived in Iowa before I wrote
Idaho.
this. Idaho. Well, then there we go. I'm going to switch it to Idaho. I'm going to switch to Idaho now that you've ripped on it. Would you move to Idaho permanently for Mets to win a championship? I had written Iowa when I wrote the question, but yeah. Idaho.
Well, I wouldn't be in Rexburg, but being in Idaho, I can maybe the Sun Valley or Boise. It's not the barren wasteland of Rexburg.
Okay.
Would you do it? For one title.
Sounds like
And
yes.
I could come back for the parade.
You can come back for the parade.
Yeah,
Only
we'll
for
let
one day you can go out of Idaho.
Yeah.
Okay, yes.
Wow.
Wow.
That's wild, actually.
Would you rather sit between two screaming babies on a plane or sit between two diehard Atlanta Braves fans at a game? These are good ones.
I've sat between two Atlanta Braves fans.
And would you rather go through that again or the babies?
Probably the babies.
Okay. Would you rather... I'm assuming you're not vegan? just asking. I don't want to assume anything. Would you rather be only able to eat soy meat for the rest of your life or only able to watch, anytime you watch sports on any screen, it could only be 360p quality-wise? Like the worst level quality. Like Nokia phone from 2008 quality.
I'd watch the 360, yeah.
Oh, wow.
There we go.
Okay. Man's got his priorities.
Keep in mind, I'm 48 years old. I watch TV.
Drop the skincare routine.
I mean, I've watched TV when it was analog.
Right.
I watched TV when I
had to turn the dial.
There was
when I had a dial. I
mean someone had to like
I ask
do
you a
this in the
question?
back.
I
to make it
remember.
go.
I remember having a TV in my room. The first TV I had in my room was a TV that was broken. It had 4 lines atop the screen, and it was blurry all the time.
I remember that. I remember the handheld little devices that were TV.
Yeah, I
Remember,
did
you
that.
remember like acoustic porn, like magazines?
Oh yes.
Acoustic phone.
I actually have listened to games on the radio. You know, that old thing.
Wow.
There is a talent to the radio announcing game. Cleveland has one of the best in Tom Hamilton.
Yeah, but yeah, and meanwhile the New York Yankees. It is high. It is far. It is God. Oh, wait a second. Nope. That's caught by the second base.
By the way, John Sterling, I've had so many times. I don't know. Yeah, I was a diehard Yankees fan as a kid, and I used to get so excited when he got started. But there was a point where you started not knowing if it was actually legitimate.
It is high. It
what he
is
actually
far. It is gone. Burn, baby, burn. It's a home run by. Why did he walk it off the field? Swan. It was caught by the catcher.
That's not a joke, by the way. I'm telling you, John Sterling.
He's just bad at his
started
job.
getting worse and worse. So like, yeah.
You know who's also gone down the drain? Al Michaels. He went from 5 seconds left. Do you believe in miracles to kick is up?
And it is good.
It's good, and the Jacksonville Jaguars have won, and they completed a historic comeback against the Los Angeles Chargers and are moving on to the divisional round. And last night, Kirk running the ball into Saints territory, and he is still running, and he's out at the 1. And it's out at the 1. It will be first and goal from the 1.
No,
Why are they
touchdown.
celebrating? It looks like a touchdown.
I want to parlay on that touchdown, but yeah.
Yeah, you saw that Christian Kirk yesterday? He is out at the wall, and the graphics are going on. All the Jaguars are celebrating. They're going to have the ball at the 1.
And Al Michaels is now, he went from being on NBC, like national primetime everything, to Amazon Prime Video.
Yeah, and you can hear Kirk Hershey going, Al, he's touchdown now. And he's still going on. He's out at the 1, and the replay showed he was not even close to being out at the 1.
Who's the Mets announcer? I actually liked
Al has
him.
lost it. Al has lost it. He's lost.
Oh yeah, I'm not talking
He's
about
lost
him.
it.
But who's the Mets announcer? Again,
Which one?
Is he still in? I remember when I was younger, he was very good. What's his name? Who's the Mets announcer right now?
Gary Cohn?
Yeah, Gary Cohn. He's
very
I think
good.
he's very
he's
good.
probably one of the best.
Yeah,
He's great at just, trying to take you out of your misery.
they need a good announcer.
And Keith Hernandez is when he gets ornery. That's always the best.
Yeah.
By the way, Keith Hernandez's birthday today, 70 years old.
And did he spit?
No, he was not the spitter.
He was not the spitter. I'm sorry.
The second spitter was
Sorry,
Roger
the second
McDowell
spitter.
on the gravelly road.
What are we talking about?
Seinfeld.
Oh, Seinfeld.
It's an
yeah, no.
episode. Very famous episode. Who spat on Keith Hernandez?
Yeah, Roger McDowell was the second spitter. I went to the Seinfeld night at Cyclones, and they played as the other one team was wearing the put them out in uniforms called the Bubble Boys, and the
Amazing.
and the Cyclones played as the Pretty Boys.
That's amazing. The Bubble Boy episode might be one of the best episodes. One of the best.
Moops. No, I'm sorry. No, Morris, no, it's Moops. The answer is Moops. That's obviously a misprint. No, I'm sorry. The answer is Moops. And then he's not funny, and he hit a bubble.
Boo. Bubble Boy.
And like that, then you see the angry mob. Someone just trying to kill the Bubble Boy. Let's go after him.
How many hours, like a week, we say on average week, are you watching something? Either TV or a game?
I'm mostly watching games. I'm not watching TV that often anymore.
What are your thoughts on Dave giving you this shout out as like being the hardest working employee at Barstool?
I think it's very good. I think
Earned
it's something I strive for. It's something I have a work ethic. So I try to make as much content as possible. I'm never stopping making content.
What do you think when Dave quote unquote bought the company back and he came in on that rant? Do you see that every day? You're like, or do you look around and you're like, where the F is everybody? Like, why are people not working as hard as me?
Well, that's why I don't go in on Fridays. It's a ghost town.
But like during the week, like do you ever like look around and you're like, who, like, do you have your favorites in the office and the people in the office?
No, not really. It just, I mean, it's a lot different now since this split up with Chicago office.
Right.
A lot of people got to Chicago.
How does it work though that people don't come in? Aren't they getting paid a salary to produce?
People do work at home.
It's content you can make it everywhere.
Yeah, even when I'm not in the office, we're going to Chicago soon. We're gonna make a little road trip to Chicago. I'm gonna go to the Devils Blackhawks game, and then do different things. I think we might even be touring the Sprecher plant in Milwaukee one day.
Interesting. Why did they open up the Chicago office?
Big Cat.
Because of Big Cat.
Yeah, because Big Cat needed a place to cry about the Bears.
Well, Big Cat always wanted to go back to Chicago. That's where he's from. That's where he wants to raise his family.
Right. Yeah, it's very interesting.
But it's so difficult because Big Cat does a lot of stuff with people, like a lot of like shows and a lot like and podcasts and stuff with a lot of the New York team.
Yeah, but he always wanted to go back to Chicago.
So he's giving up on all
Is he
those
giving?
bugs?
Are those things going to go away? Like some of the shows that he does, like
No.
the betting, like the betting and the fantasy and
No, that's all in Chicago now.
everything's in Chicago now.
Yes.
All that stuff.
Yes. PMT's in Chicago. I mean, everything's in Chicago. The Yak's in Chicago, and they're hoping to get the new office open in Chicago very soon.
But isn't Stu on the football show?
Yeah, and he
And
flies it.
he flies in every single time.
Yes.
That's That's crazy. Every week he flies to Chicago
Yes.
to be on that to be on the football show.
It's actually his show, The Advisors. Yes,
The
he's on
advisors,
there.
football
Yeah.
advisors.
Yeah.
So what is happening in the New York office now? If everyone, like a lot of big players,
Barstool New York. They still have Pick Central, a couple other shows going on, and a lot of the comedians are here now.
Mostly, yeah. The comedians are all here.
But are they downsizing? Do you plan on? Are they thinking of moving?
They've
office?
already downsized.
No, I know they downsized because they're operating at a deficit. I'm saying the office they're probably paying. Who knows? I'm saying.
I don't know. I mean, as far as right now, it's open.
What's your favorite part about working at Barstool?
Creativity.
All right.
You basically have creative license to basically do whatever you want. Like, there's not too many. Do you have like a lot of notes on like what you can and can't do, or they let you?
There were some notes every now and then, and in the pen days, but those seem to have gone away.
Will you get a note like "Be angrier next time"?
No, I don't get that.
Because you're angry enough.
Does Dave, when Dave bought the company back, I know a lot of people are wondering this. I know I asked it to you, but I'm going to ask it again. Has the company changed since he bought it back for a very expensive price of $1?
There hasn't been that many changes, but it's been less restrictive, I would say. A lot of like the watch what you say about gambling and stuff has kind of gone away. I mean, they got in hot water because of Big Cat's Can't Lose Parlay, which is in itself was always tongue in cheek, but you can't tell that to Massachusetts, who I mean these politicians walk around with their assholes so tight you can actually hear them squeaking when they're walking.
I'm using that line moving forward.
It's a great line, and I'm going to use that about anyone and everyone that I think has a pull up their ass from now on.
I'm thinking that.
You can actually hear them squeaking as they walk.
It's amazing.
All right. Guys, I know, Frank, we've been at this for about an hour. I know you have to head out because you're going to Stew now, right?
Yes.
And the Devils Islanders game.
Yes.
So you got a lot going on. Last thing, you guys have any quick questions?
Last question.
ASAP.
Last question. You have to make out with one of them, El Presidente or Glenny Balls.
Neither.
That is not an answer.
And I have one last question. What would you amputate both of your legs for a Mets World Series?
No, wait, please, Frank, tell me no. Good
You
Lord.
know, they make good prosthetics these days.
Wow. Okay.
And that's the end, baby.
All right, guys, thank you so much for watching. Peace, love, Frank, specifically, by the way. I
Really
just wanna- Before we
appreciate
say goodbye, honestly.
Plug.
Yeah, well, first of all, Frank, you have a weird ass. Why don't you get a normal handle? Because your handle
Like
is
Frank
like
the Tank. Not like,
when I look at your handle, it's like hard to find you. You have to know your last
I
name.
thought you were
to
in the
find you.
band the
You
1975.
do Frank Fleming. You can't. Why don't you change it to Frank the Tank?
or NJ Tank 19. It's NJ Tank
Well,
1975. but-
It's on Instagram.
No.
To be fair, he has 6 times as many followers, though, so he's doing all right.
No, he is. But when I was looking for him, I couldn't find him. Like he comes up my feed, but when I search you, I put him Frank the Tank. Whatever. Anyways, Frank's handle NJ Tank 1975.
Frank, what is your OnlyFans?
I don't have one.
Your Cameo.
Yet.
Cameo, just look for Frank the Tank.
Look for Frank the Tank on Cameo. Anything else you want to plug?
YouTube. Get me, I want 50,000 followers on YouTube.
What are you at right now?
40,000.
Guys, let's get him up there. He's working his ass off for the public, guys.
And let him finish his goddamn text before you go over to
And also,
the public.
last thing is that I realized maybe I was wrong, but at the beginning of the episode, that you have like an urge to get into like the local politics game.
Frank speaks for the people.
James is like, no, guys,
You know, a tick is a blood-sucking insect, and the old word poly means many. So that's what you have, many bloodsuckers.
Okay.
Frank, thank you so much for coming on. I really, really appreciate it. I know you made a trek out here, so I greatly appreciate it. Thank you so much.
All right.
It's been awesome.
All right, been awesome. Take care,
Dan
guys.
Marino.